नमस्कार। क्या आप मेरी आवाज़ सुन पा रहे हैं? नमस्कार। आप सभी तक मेरी आवाज़ क्या पहुंच रही है? नमस्कार। I am Professor Shilpi Verma, Head of the Department of Library and Information Science, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. Today I am here as our university, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, has started a very nice initiative, that is a Facebook live series, lecture series under the able guidance of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sanjay Singh Sir. And of course, this task is very well taken by the Professor Govindji Pandey, who is heading the social media publicity team, and a very young dynamic co-coordinator, Dr. Alka. She is always busy in dealing with the social media work of the university, and she is also a social media champion. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the social media publicity team for starting such a nice initiative, that in this lockdown period when whole world is closed, university is closed, students are at home, teachers are at home. So with the help of this initiative, at least we are able to talk, we are able to interact, we are able to discuss the things on this Facebook live series. And I think 6 lectures or 7 lectures have already been completed by this Facebook live series already. And today I am also going to deliver a lecture on a topic, that is a topic, a libraries as cultural heritage institution. सबसे पहले तो इस टॉपिक को चूज़ करने के पीछे मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि मैंने ये टॉपिक ही क्यों चूज़ किया आज फेसबुक लाइव सीरीज़, लेक्चर सीरीज़ के लिए। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि फेसबुक लाइव सीरीज़ एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है, एक ऐसा मंच है जो हमारे विश्वविद्यालय ने दिया है, जिसके तहत बहुत सारे छात्र छात्राएं, शिक्षक, एकेडमिशियंस और जो लोग भी शिक्षा के क्षेत्र से जुड़े हैं, वो सभी इस प्लेटफॉर्म के तहत फ़ायदा उठा रहे हैं। और इस प्लेटफॉर्म से फ़ायदा उठाने का ये है कि अगर आप किसी भी विषय से जुड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन अगर आप फेसबुक लाइव सीरीज़, लेक्चर सीरीज़ के तहत फ़ायदा ले रहे हैं, तो द टॉपिक शुड बी लिटिल बिट जनरल, दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव चूजन दिस टॉपिक। और जैसा कि आप सभी लोग जानते हैं कि भारत एक संस्कृति प्रधान देश है, और भारत के कण कण में संस्कृति रची बसी हुई है, और हम सभी शायद अपनी सांस्कृतिक विरासत को संजोने में बहुत हद तक सफल भी हैं, और अपनी सांस्कृतिक विरासत को एक पीढ़ी से दूसरी पीढ़ी तक पहुंचाना, ये शायद हमारे भारतवर्ष की परंपरा भी रही है। जैसे कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि भारतवर्ष में लगातार ही हमारी जो सांस्कृतिक विरासत है, उसको कई माध्यमों से एक जनरेशन से दूसरे जनरेशन तक पहुंचाया जाता रहा है, और लगातार इस क्षेत्र में जो प्रयास कर रहे हैं जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस, उसमें लाइब्रेरीज का नाम बहुत ऊपर आता है। लाइब्रेरीज हैं, आर्काइव्स हैं, म्यूजियम्स हैं, जो कि इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं और लगातार इस मुहिम को आगे बढ़ाने में हम सभी को साथ दे रहे हैं। लेकिन किसी भी देश की सांस्कृतिक विरासत जो होती है, उसको आगे ले जाने में प्रत्येक व्यक्ति का उतना ही योगदान होता है जितना कि किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन का। जैसे हम लाइब्रेरीज की बात करें, म्यूजियम्स की बात करें, आर्काइव्स की, उसी तरीके से हर इंडिविजुअल का, हर एक प्रत्येक व्यक्ति का बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है। जब हम कल्चरल हेरिटेज की बात करते हैं, सबसे पहले मैं आऊंगी हेरिटेज वर्ड पे कि हेरिटेज से आप क्या समझते हैं एंड व्हाट इज हेरिटेज। हेरिटेज इज दैट समथिंग दैट इज पास्ड बाय वंस एंसेस्टर, जो हमारे पूर्वजों के द्वारा, हमारे पुरखों के द्वारा कुछ चीजें हैं, कुछ ऐसी विरासत है जो एक जनरेशन से दूसरे जनरेशन तक पास की जाती है। Heritage can be comprised of the practices that our society inherits from its past and which is intent to preserve and transmit to the future generations, with the aim of that the foundation of value, to create a foundation of value। ये हम इसको, हेरिटेज को इस तरीके से हम समझ सकते हैं, अगर हम सामान्य भाषा में समझना चाहें कि हेरिटेज क्या है। हेरिटेज की जब बात आती है तो हेरिटेज में हमेशा हम देखते हैं कि कुछ रिलीजियस, लिटरेरी, हिस्टोरिकल, एस्थेटिक वैल्यू का कुछ हेरिटेज होता है, जिसको हम ट्रांसमिट एक जगह से दूसरी जगह करते हैं। जब हम कल्चरल हेरिटेज की बात करते हैं और व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द कल्चरल हेरिटेज, we see that the 21st century has witnessed a dramatic change in preserving and disseminating the cultural heritage. Because if we see in older time, there was not so much means of transmitting this cultural heritage from one generation to another, but now we are having some very ICT enabled techniques like digital preservation. With the help of these techniques, we are able to manage these cultural heritage, and we are able to pass it on to the various generations. And if we see in the 21st century's role of the libraries, so we can say that the libraries is having one of the major function of the libraries is to pass on the cultural heritage and to preserve the cultural heritage and to promote the cultural heritage from one generation to another. And you can say the libraries are also very important institutions. And the days have gone that when we were seeing the libraries like this, public libraries and national libraries are having the major role of preserving the culture. But now even the academic libraries, university libraries, school libraries and special libraries are having the good collection of this cultural heritage, and they are striving to transmit this cultural heritage from one generation to another generation. And if we see that, if we talk about this heritage can be consisting of any idea, belief, value, knowledge, that makes it clear that it is about the people who have to understand themselves and to the world. Because when we talk about cultural heritage, जब हम cultural heritage की बात करते हैं, it is the every nation's unique identity. The cultural heritage gives us the unique identity, and this unique identity has to be preserved, has to be transmitted to another generations. So if we connect it with the libraries, so the term comes into picture, that is a literary heritage. That what is a literary heritage? When we talk about literary heritage, it is a body of literature which may be a sound, which may be a written thing, or which may be any dramatic thing that you want to transmit to another generations. Now the question comes that how you are going to preserve it. For example, if it is a very older document, how you are going to take it to the further generations. So here we use the techniques, that is a digital preservation of the books or the manuscript or any other material. The UNESCO plays a very, very important and major role in preserving this cultural heritage. And even the UNESCO has realized that books are not only the tools of education. They are just not transmitting the education to other users or the students, but they are actually the ambassadors of the culture of the nation. They are the ambassadors of the cultures of the nation. And UNESCO, in continuation to this, in the year 1972, UNESCO declared the International Year of Book. And in that year, the UNESCO has, with the help of various committees of librarians and various other institutions, they have formed some charter that how we can preserve these books and how we can preserve this cultural heritage. So they have made two charters. UNESCO has made two charters, and one charter is basically focusing on the book, that how the book can be reached to everybody, to the every user, and how we can say that book is basically an ambassador of a culture. Not only it is a tool or means of the you can say education, but it is basically an ambassador of a culture. So that charter, that charter which is focusing on the books, it basically highlights this, and they said in that charter that words documentary heritage constitute a major part of mankind. The word documentary heritage constitute a major part of that, and it basically reflects in the diversity of people, in the diversity of language and culture. The second part of the charter of that UNESCO document, it is basically highlights the preservation of the digital heritage. Now the question comes that what is the digital heritage, what we are talking about? Like we are having very old manuscript, very old documents, very old artifacts. How we are going to preserve it in the digital form so that it can be passed to various other further generations, though we have preserved the older for this generation, and we have to move it on to the another generation. So this charter has made advocacy of the public policies related to this digital preservation. And UNESCO has prepared a full preservation document on digital heritage with the help of National Library of Australia. Like you know that every country has a national library, and like our national library is in Calcutta, and National Library have the main aim of preserving the cultural heritage and passing it to the future generation and to the person living in. And even the National Library provides the free services to the users, and you can go and have a look of the manuscripts, rare manuscript, and what were inhibited in our culture. So UNESCO basically adopted this policy, and with the help of National Library of Australia, they have made a document. And now the question comes that why UNESCO came into the picture, and why they thought that digital preservation is also a very important aspect. So basically they think that if any single document which is going to be damaged very soon due to that might be any cause of that, like due to acidic nature of the paper or due to any other nature like natural disaster. So how we are going to preserve these documents and the cultural heritage of the nation? So they focused on that, how you are going to collect these documents, how you are going to hold these documents, and how you are going to disseminate this information which is given there. So public libraries are very universal place that provide cultural heritage, that preserves the cultural heritage and promotes it to the future generations. Like for example, if we talk about this cultural heritage, the cultural heritage may be of two types. Like the division can be divided in two types. Like one is the intangible and another is the tangible. Like UNESCO has also given this, that this can be divided into two parts, that one is tangible and a tangible cultural heritage, and another is intangible cultural heritage. And when we talk about intangible cultural heritage, we are talking about the various beliefs, the values, or the various things which were prevailing in the groups or in the societies that you want to send to the future generations. But when it comes to the tangible cultural heritage, we are talking about monuments, we are talking about buildings, we are talking about even documentary heritage that basically library looks upon. So we are talking about these tangible documents also. The UNESCO has also said that tangible cultural heritage can be a monuments, artifacts, all these, but intangible cultural heritage like folk songs or like any music, that is intangible, and it basically the nation preserve this kind of cultural heritage, and they want that every generation should know this cultural heritage. Now what libraries are doing in it, how libraries are connected with all this? Because it is the major function of the libraries that they have to provide these information related to cultural heritage to all sections of the society. They have to preserve the information and they have to provide it to the all sections of the library. And even they have to, the public libraries, they have to maintain the local cultural heritage of that area. Any library which is residing in that particular area, they are going to preserve the local heritage also, and they are going to disseminate it to the future generations. And if we talk about that this literary heritage, and we see that manuscripts are the very important aspect of this. And manuscript, now the question comes that what is a manuscript? Like manuscript is a very old document that might not be published. It may be a handwritten, but it is having a very great research value, very important research value inhibited in it. And the libraries are doing a very good, wonderful job in preserving these manuscripts. As you know that manuscripts preserve a lot of information related to research. Whenever we are talking about cultural heritage, manuscript is a major portion of it. And basically this archival material or this manuscripts plays a vital role, or we can say the glorious past of the Indian culture lies in these manuscripts. And if you get the chance to see this manuscript, you will be able to know that how rich our culture is and how rich our various these manuscripts are. And basically these are the historical evidence and having a very great research value of it. And if we talk about Indian situation in this relation to manuscript, we are having around 50 lakhs manuscript. India is, I think, the greatest, largest nation which is having so much manuscript, and not even written in 2, 3, 4 languages, but it is basically written in around 400 scripts. 400 scripts. You can imagine the scripts which have already been vanished from the country. The manuscripts are there in the country, available in these scripts, and it is generally preserved in various national libraries or various oriental libraries, and user can go and have a look of these manuscripts. And if we see that what is a definition of the manuscript, or Antiquities and Art Treasurer Act 1972, how they have described this, that what is a manuscript? Any manuscript, record or other document which is of scientific, historical, literary, aesthetic value, and which has been in existence for not less than 75 years. So now you can imagine a document which is having a life of at least 75 years. These are the basically manuscripts. And as I am telling you, what is the position of India in managing these manuscripts and preserving these manuscripts? The total number of manuscripts in India is around 50 lakhs, and the total Indian manuscripts which are already available in the European countries, that are around 60,000. The Indian manuscripts are available in European countries, in their libraries, in their institutions, is around 60,000. And the Indian manuscripts in the South Asia and Asian countries is around 1,50,000. And if we see that how many manuscripts have been catalogued, so you cannot say that each and every manuscript is catalogued and it is very easy to find it out. So now here the question comes that how the libraries are managing these manuscripts, and if you want to see these manuscripts, they should be properly catalogued, they should be properly preserved in the digital form, so that anybody is able to reach to the manuscript and see the content of the manuscript. And if we talk about the language, that in which language all these manuscripts are available here, so you can say out of total manuscript, around 67% manuscripts are in Sanskrit language which are present in India, and other Indian languages it is around 25%, and Arabic, Persian and Tibetan language it is around 8%. It is the data that has been taken from NNM. So this is the situation of the manuscript in India. Now what Indian institutions, libraries are doing to preserve these manuscripts, because these are the rare documents that can be utilized by the further generation, and though this generation is utilizing it just to knowing the culture and just to do research in that field, that actually how rich India is in cultural heritage. You can see by this that India is having the largest number of manuscripts, so you can see that how rich was our country in this respect. So that's why I am just telling this data to all of you, that you should know that how much collection of manuscripts we are having here in India and how we are dealing with it. If we talk about that, what are the institutions who are dealing with it? Very important, one of the institution, that is a Indira Gandhi National Center of Arts, that is IGNCA, which is working for the preservation of manuscript. And you must have heard one mission, that was National Mission on Manuscript, that was started by this institute IGNCA. And IGNCA basically provided the support to the institutions who are having the manuscript and they want to preserve it, they want to disseminate it to the further generations. And if we see that what are the various initiatives of this IGNCA, So you can say that they are having many manuscript available, and this particular mission that was started by IGNCA, that is National Mission for Manuscript, IGNCA New Delhi. Under this mission, it was a national effort to preserve the manuscript which are available either in MUT, or it is an individual property, or it is available in the library, or it is available anywhere else in any other institution. They came forward with this help of this mission to help the libraries, to help the institution, that how they can preserve these libraries with the help of their expert specialists. Even they have provided trainings to the libraries, to the institution, that how they can preserve this. So this National Mission for Manuscript played a very important major role in it. And if we see that what are the other initiative of this IGNCA, we can say that there is a Kala Sampada and Sutradhar, various other initiative of this IGNCA, Kala Nidhi, Kala Kosha, and Janpada Sampada. These are all initiatives just to preserve the folk culture, the manuscript, the other initiative, the other cultural heritage of the nation, Kala Darshan, Sutradhar. All these initiatives were the cultural heritage initiatives which were basically taken up by the IGNCA. Now the question comes that we think that it is a role of National Library, it is a role of public library, but how university libraries are there in the picture? If we talk about the old university libraries, they are having a very great rich collection of manuscripts too. Like for example, if we talk about Aligarh Muslim University, AMU, it is having 16,000 manuscript. Banaras Hindu University, BHU, is having 7,233 rare manuscript. Punjab University is also having a collection of 1,490. And Guwahati University is also having 4,500 collection there. And if we see that how these library professionals are playing role in this, the library professionals are not only preserving, collecting and managing these materials, but they are also basically disseminating these materials to the further generations. Now if we talk about that, there are the libraries, what are the various international initiatives also in this particular field, that what are the international initiatives that had been taken up. If we talk about that, there were one documentary, safeguarding documentary cultural heritage role of the IFLA, that IFLA is also playing a very major role in it. And under this program, they have taken up the Library of Timbuktu. The Library of Timbuktu, it is a very famous incident that in the year 2013, armed group occupied northern Mali and Timbuktu, a city which is very famous for its cultural heritage and having a vast number of public and private libraries with rare documents. Invaluable, you can say, documentary heritage was there. To safeguard these manuscripts, and the librarians and with the help of international support like IFLA, all these manuscript has been preserved. And even various other library associations are working for the benefit of this thing. And if we talk about that, how the libraries can help in the digital heritage preservation, or the digital preservation is it. Like whenever we talk about the heritage, you know that heritage is that has to be gone further. So the libraries are doing it well with the help of digitization. Though you can say there are number of copyright issues that you cannot reproduce anything, but here the digital preservation of manuscript is very mandatory, because until and unless you are not going to preserve in the digital form, it will be damaged. If anybody is going to touch these manuscripts, these are going to be damaged. Even the pages are so you can say fragile that you cannot even touch. So there are experts in the libraries or who are taking care of these manuscripts, and they are doing the digitization of these manuscripts so that this can be presented to the further generations, and they are well taken it by the various national initiative and various other institutions. Like for example, if we talk about that, what are the major institutions that are playing role in it, or what are the various libraries that are having a rich collection of these manuscripts, you can say that one of the major library is Rampur Raja Library, that is situated in Rampur, and it is, you can say, it is one of the most important library of South Asia. Why I am saying like this? Because this library is having a very rare document of the religious nature, the traditional of the Indian culture, and basically this library is having a great amount of, even Rampur Raza Library Rampur is having a Ramayana which is illustrated or translated in the Persian language. So this kind of rare document is also available there. And if you talk about another institution which is playing a very major role, or which is having a very great importance in the nation, that is a Khuda Bakhsh Oriental Public Library situated in Patna. Khuda Bakhsh Library is also a very richest repository of the intellectual, and it is also having a very good collection. You can say around 21,000 rare manuscripts are there in the Patna Khuda Bakhsh Oriental Library, and some of them are very rare in nature. And even Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute is also in Pune, that is having a rare manuscripts available in this. I am taking the names of these libraries because you can say these libraries are not even famous in India, but many researchers from outside the India, they are doing research on it, that how they are preserving their manuscript in India and how rich culture of India is. That's why I am focusing on these libraries. These are one of the richest libraries in terms of if you talk about cultural heritage. Even if I am going to tell you something to the students and the teachers, that in Lucknow also we are having one Amiruddaulah Public Library in Kaisabagh. It is also having a very great collection of manuscript. If whenever you get time, you should go and visit and have a look of these rare manuscripts. And the manuscripts which are written on palm leaves, birch bark, copper plates, and these have been preserved. These rare manuscripts have also been preserved. Even if you want to see these manuscripts, you can go to the Amiruddaulah Public Library also. You can see there. And even if you go to other library, like if you talk about other important library, that is Asiatic Society Calcutta, it is also having a very great collection of it. And if you have got chance to visit to the National Library of India, that is in Calcutta, you must see, you should go to the old newspaper section there once, because I visited this year only that section. And even this newspaper section is having a rare newspaper of, you can say, when printing press was invented, like that editions of newspaper are even preserved in there. And I have seen so many persons coming to these sections, and they are doing research that what was published in these newspapers, what was the content, how they were writing the things. Even so many persons and research scholars were working there in that section that I have seen. And no charges are being charged by the National Library for that. You can, free of cost, holding your identity card, you can go there and you can have a look at how rich our nation is, how rich our country is in the cultural heritage. Like another institute, if we talk about the other cultural heritage institute, there are other cultural, like Oriental Research Institute is also very important institute that we should talk upon. And like if you talk about that, how the libraries are preserving these documentary sources with the help of digital preservation, we should see that this digital preservation has helped the persons or the libraries to make it possible to pass it to the generations, because otherwise these are going to be vanished in near future if you are not going to have the digitized form of it. And one more important thing is that when we do digital preservation of these manuscripts, it is very easy to used by many person. If many users are using these manuscripts, then also it is not going to be hampered or it is not going to be damaged. But you can say that there are many hurdles in it, and there are many challenges that libraries and the institutions are facing in it. Like if you see that there are lack of financial support, like if any library want to do this preservation, there are of course the lack of fund and support is there. And if we see that what are the other things, that it is very difficult to have you can say the experts which are going to deal with it, because if you are not going to deal with the expertise, it is going to do something else with this. Like if we talk about that libraries initiative to help to support this cultural heritage, we can say it is duty of each and every individual that how we can disseminate our Indian culture, how we can disseminate our Indian culture to the generations, and even how we can successfully preserve. The libraries are playing a major role in preserving, successful preservation of cultural heritage, and it cannot be separated from the community. I am always telling you this, that everything, if you want that our cultural heritage to be passed to the different generation, every individual have to come forward, every community have to come forward. So libraries cannot play their role alone, they have to join hands with the communities. Like if you talk about the public libraries, they have always they have to take always the help of the public local community, and they can tell you that what local folk is there, how it can be preserved, in which form it can be preserved, what are the various cultural things that are prevailing in that particular area. As you know that when we talk about कि हमारे देश में इतनी सारी बोलियां हैं, इतनी सारी भाषाएं हैं, इतनी सारी सांस्कृतिक विरासत है, और हर जगह पर जाकर आपकी सांस्कृतिक विरासत चेंज हो जाती है। इस सांस्कृतिक विरासत या जो अलग अलग फोक संस्कृति है या जो भी, उन सबको प्रिजर्व करने का जिम्मा ना कि सिर्फ कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशंस का है, ना कि सिर्फ लाइब्रेरीज का है, ना कि सिर्फ लाइब्रेरी प्रोफेशनल्स का है या इंफॉर्मेशन ये हम सभी का शायद ये जिम्मेदारी है। क्योंकि जैसे मैं बता रही हूँ कि इतने रेयर मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट्स भी हैं, इतने रेयर थिंग्स हैं जिनको प्रिजर्व करके हम आगे तक ले जा रहे हैं, एंड वी आर, यू कैन से वी आर लकी एनफ टू सी ऑल दीज थिंग्स lively, so many old things. But it is our responsibility, each and every individual responsibility, that how you are going to preserve all these things and how you are going to take it to further generations. And we cannot even rely on only the cultural heritage institutions or only the libraries. ये हम सभी की उतनी ही जिम्मेदारी है जितनी एक किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन की या पब्लिक फंडेड इंस्टीट्यूशन की है, उतनी जिम्मेदारी हम सभी की है। अगर शायद हम सभी लोग साथ में मिलकर काम करें कि किस तरीके से इस कल्चरल हेरिटेज को प्रिजर्व किया जाए, तो शायद जो वो टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट है, जो वो टेक्निकलिटीज हैं, जो वो टेक्निकल हैंड्स की ज़रूरत है, वो आपको लाइब्रेरी प्रोफेशनल्स के साथ मिल जाए। लेकिन शायद जो समाज से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, जो एक तबका है जो उनके साथ जीता है, उनके साथ रहता है, वो हमें अगर मदद करेगा तो शायद ये बहुत बड़ा एक ग्रेट इनिशिएटिव होगा कि अगर अकेले कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशंस काम कर रहे हैं और अकेले कुछ लोग काम कर रहे हैं, अलग कुछ संस्थाएं हैं, कुछ एनजीओ हैं जो इसी के लिए काम कर रही हैं कि कैसे हमारी भारतीय सांस्कृतिक विरासत और इस धरोहर को हम कैसे आगे ले जाएं, और हमें उस पर गर्व होना चाहिए, हमें उस पर सम्मान होना चाहिए। इसको वो अलग अलग काम कर रहे हैं। अगर शायद ये सारे लोग साथ में हाथ मिला लें और इस तरीके के जो मिशन है, जैसे नेशनल मिशन ऑफ मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट या इस तरीके के जो मिशन है, इसमें अगर एक आम हिंदुस्तानी, एक आम व्यक्ति जो ज़मीनी स्तर पे जाके काम करता है, उन बोलियों में बोलता है, उन भाषाओं में बोलता है, उस तरीके से काम कर रहा है, उन सारी विधाओं को जानता है, उन लोगों के साथ बैठता उठता है, नहीं तो शायद आने वाले टाइम में वो रहेगा समय कि हमारे पास वो सारी चीज़ें खो चुकी होंगी, क्योंकि धीरे धीरे ये सारी चीज़ें गायब होती जा रही हैं। अगर उसकी कहीं ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं हुई, अगर उसकी कहीं कोई वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं हुई, या अगर उसको किसी तरीके से हमने प्रिजर्व नहीं किया इन द फॉर्म ऑफ बुक्स या कहीं किसी भी तरीके से, तो शायद वो आने वाले टाइम में हम लोग देख नहीं पाएंगे जो इतनी विधाएं और इतनी चीज़ें हमारी भारतीय सांस्कृतिक विरासत में है। इसके लिए मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक बहुत बड़ा कोई नेशनल लेवल का एक ऐसा ग्रुप बनना चाहिए जहां पर ना कि सिर्फ लाइब्रेरियंस, बल्कि ये जो लोग ज़मीनी स्तर पे काम कर रहे हैं, जो एनजीओ के लोग, कुछ और लोग जो इन विधाओं से जुड़े हुए हैं, जो कल्चरल हेरिटेज को प्रिजर्व करने के लिए इंस्टीट्यूशंस काम कर रहे हैं, अगर ये एक एडवाइजरी ग्रुप पहले एक बनाया जाए और एक वर्किंग ग्रुप बनाया जाए, दो अलग ग्रुप बनाए जाएं, तो शायद वो दोनों के साथ मिलने की वजह से शायद हमारे जो ये इस तरीके की विरासत है उसको हम बचा के रख पाएं, उसको हम आगे ले जा पाएं। क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग ये सोचते हैं कि नहीं, हम इसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि हमें तो इसका कुछ अंदाजा नहीं है कि इसको कैसे करना है। यहीं पर शायद हम गलती करते हैं, क्योंकि आपको भी सब कुछ पता है, आपको भी सब पता है कि हमारे यहाँ की विरासत क्या है, हमारे यहाँ की क्या ऐसी चीज है जो शायद आने वाली जनरेशन्स को पता होनी चाहिए, जो शायद आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए जानना जरूरी है। हम लोग लकी हैं कि हम लोग वो पुरानी जनरेशन्स की मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट देख के, चाहे वो किसी भी लिपि में है, उसको हम आज भी समझ पा रहे हैं, उसको हमारे पास लोग हैं जो उन लिपियों को समझ पा रहे हैं, हमें बता पा रहे हैं। लेकिन क्या यही सिलसिला चलता रहेगा? क्या ऐसा लगता है कि आगे भी ऐसा होता रहेगा? मैं ये बार बार कह रही हूँ कि भारत इतना रिच है इस चीज में कि यहाँ पर सबसे बड़ा एक कलेक्शन है जो इस तरीके की चीजों का, मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट का, क्योंकि भारत कल्चरली रिच है, तो भारत में उस चीज को प्रिजर्व करने के लिए भी शुरू से लोगों ने सोचा कि इसको कैसे रखा जाए। चाहे अगर आप पुराने समय की बात करें तो वो मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट को कुछ नहीं, कपड़े में हल्दी लगा के उसमें रख देते थे, पाम लीफ को और इसको, तो ये सब जो छोटे छोटे मेथड्स उस समय भी इस्तेमाल किए जाते थे, दे वर सो साइंटिफिक एंड दीज आर यूटिलाइज्ड नाउअडेज आल्सो. So you cannot say that these were not the scientific methods they have chosen to preserve the document. That was not the published work, that was the handwritten, that was written on copper plate, that was written on a palm leaf or plate or clear tablets, anywhere. But they were knowing that how to preserve. So that generation has taken the things to us. And now it is our duty that how we are going to give it to another generation. क्योंकि आने वाले समय में ये होगा कि अगर हम इन चीज़ों को आगे नहीं ले जा पाए और हम इसमें उस तरीके से सफल नहीं रहे, तो शायद ऐसा होगा कि वो जो आने वाली जनरेशन्स हैं वो हमें इसके लिए ज़रूर दोषी मानेंगी। क्योंकि ठीक है, मैं एक लाइब्रेरी प्रोफेशनल हूँ, मेरी तो बहुत जिम्मेदारी है इस तरफ कि मैं इसमें क्या करूँ, लेकिन शायद प्रत्येक व्यक्ति, प्रत्येक नागरिक की कुछ ना कुछ जिम्मेदारी है कि वो कैसे जुड़े इन चीज़ों से और कैसे इन चीज़ों को आगे ले जाने में हेल्प करें। इसलिए मुझे लगा कि आज इस टॉपिक पे चर्चा करना ज़्यादा आवश्यक है, क्योंकि शायद जो प्रश्न है मेरे अंदर वो आपके अंदर भी आने चाहिए। जो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि क्या हम लोग आने वाले समय में अपनी जनरेशन्स के साथ आंखें मिलाकर बात कर पाएंगे कि हम उनको वो विरासत दे पाए जो विरासत हमें दी गई या जो हमें बताई गई चीजें, विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस डॉक्यूमेंट्री हेरिटेज, दिस कल्चरल हेरिटेज दैट हैज बीन प्रिजर्व्ड, एंड वी कैन सी, वी कैन फील, वी कैन imagine that how they were living, what were their values that were inherited in these documents. We can feel it. So of course ये सारे जो डॉक्यूमेंट्री हेरिटेज है, लिटरेरी हेरिटेज है, कल्चरल हेरिटेज के जितने भी पुष्प, ये सब हमें कहीं ना कहीं ये सवाल खड़ा जरूर करते हैं हमारे सामने कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं। जो हम आगे, ठीक है पैसे का कंस्ट्रेंट है, ठीक है फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट उस तरीके से नहीं मिल पाता, कई बार हो सकता है गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट उस तरीके से नहीं मिल पाता, लेकिन अगर हम लोग सभी मिलके शायद ज्वाइंटली कुछ काम करना चाहें तो हमें कुछ ना कुछ तो हम कर सकते हैं। हो सकता है कि इन कंस्ट्रेंट के बाद भी, क्योंकि बाधाएं तो हमेशा आएंगी और बाधाएं हमेशा आती भी रहती हैं, लेकिन हमारा कुछ क्या प्रयास हमारी तरफ से है या सिर्फ हम उसको क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, कोई डिजिटल प्रिजर्वेशन नहीं हो पा रहा है, प्रॉपर नहीं हो पा रहा, लोगों के पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, लोगों के पास वो टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, वैसे टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सपर्ट्स नहीं है जो उन टेक्नोलॉजीज को डील कर पाए। वो सब हो जाएगा, लेकिन अगर हम उसको चाहेंगे तभी हो पाएगा। So at last I would like to say that it is our duty, everybody's duty, that we should try to help our nation in preserving these cultural heritage and passing it to the further generations. It is our prime duty, it is our sole responsibility, because as you know that every nation is known by its culture, is known by its cultural heritage. It is our unique identity. So how we are going to deal with it and how we are going to help the nation in preserving all these things. सो मेरे सामने बहुत सारे ऐसे प्रश्न हैं और बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें हैं जो मैं कहना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन अभी मैं इतना ही, क्योंकि समय मुझे लग रहा है कि हो चुका है, मैं यही कहूंगी कि शायद आप लोगों के मन में भी बहुत सारे सवाल आए होंगे मेरी बात सुनकर, बहुत सारे ऐसे चीजें जहन में जिज्ञासाएं आई होंगी, क्या हो सकता है। उन जिज्ञासाओं को शांत करने की कोशिश करिए, उन जिज्ञासाओं पर सोचने का, उस पर गहन चिंतन करने का समय है कि हम ऐसा क्या करें ताकि आने वाले टाइम में हमारी जनरेशन्स भी सोचें कि हाँ, क्या भारतवर्ष एक ऐसा देश है जो इतनी इतनी सांस्कृतिक विरासत को संजोए हुए है और हर चीज में एक सांस्कृतिक विरासत नजर आती है। तो हमें उस पर सोचने की आवश्यकता है। मैं सबसे धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ हमारी बीबीएयू की सोशल मीडिया पब्लिसिटी टीम का कि उन्होंने मुझे मौका दिया, प्रोफेसर गोविंद जी पांडे, डॉक्टर अलका एंड अदर मेंबर्स, कि उन्होंने मुझे ये मौका दिया, ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी कि आकर मैं इस फेसबुक लाइव सीरीज पर कुछ अपनी बात रख पाऊँ। चूंकि यहाँ पर समय का कंस्ट्रेंट होता है, इसलिए मैं शायद बहुत डिटेल में तो नहीं जा पाई या उस तरीके से नहीं बता पाई, लेकिन मैं बहुत जनरल तरीके से इसको आपके सामने रखी हूँ, ना कि सिर्फ उन लोगों के लिए कि जो लाइब्रेरी प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, बल्कि उन लोगों के लिए जो कोई भी इसको सुन रहा हो, क्या उसके मन में, उसके जहन में कोई सवाल आते हैं। बस ये मेरा प्रयास था। शायद हो सकता है मैं उसमें सफल रही हूं या नहीं, लेकिन जरूर मैंने आपको सोचने पे मजबूर किया होगा कि ये हमें क्या करना है। तो आप सभी का बहुत धन्यवाद। और आपके बहुत सारे कमेंट्स मुझे दिख रहे हैं इस पे स्क्रीन पे, उन सभी को मैं कोशिश करूंगी जवाब देने की। आप सभी का मुझे सुनने के लिए धन्यवाद। और ये बीबीएयू फेसबुक लाइव लेक्चर सीरीज के ऑर्गेनाइजर्स को मैं थैंक्स करना चाहती हूँ। हमारे वाइस चांसलर साहब को थैंक्स करना चाहती हूँ कि उनका इनिशिएटिव है कि ये जो सिल्वर जुबली सेलिब्रेशन है, हमारा जो विश्वविद्यालय सिल्वर जुबली मना रहा है, उसके तहत ये एक नया आयाम जोड़ा गया है। क्योंकि इस आयाम में मुझे लगता है बच्चा, छात्र, छात्राएं, नॉन टीचिंग सब जुट जाते हैं, कोई भी आके सुन सकता है। ऐसे क्या होता है कि टीचर क्लास में बोलता है, उसके कन्फाइंड स्टूडेंट हैं, लाइब्रेरी साइंस पढ़ा रहे हैं तो लाइब्रेरी साइंस का शिक्षक है, लाइब्रेरी साइंस के स्टूडेंट हैं, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी पढ़ा रहे हैं तो बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का स्टूडेंट है, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के टीचर हैं। लेकिन शायद इस तरीके से मुझे लगता है कि जो कहा जाता है इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी है, सब कुछ जुड़ा हुआ है, वो इसके माध्यम से शायद सफल हो पाएगा। इसके लिए मैं आप सभी को धन्यवाद देती हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच। नमस्कार।